Hi all, hope you're well and making wise choices to take care of yourself, your loved ones and to protect the NHS. Big shout out to all of our key workers watching this. We are so blown away with how you're choosing to remain on the front line to take care of all of us. Well, it's now April, 2nd of April actually, and we're heading towards Easter. Can you believe it? I can't. I hope you're beginning to pace yourself for the long haul. In our last video, I talked about it being like a marathon, not a sprint, and how these last few weeks, it's been like that dreaded first mile where we're just trying to adjust to the new pace, moving from one way of living into a new way of living. And I hope as you head into this weekend, you're finding time and ways to adjust to this new way. Please do let us know if you are struggling. We have a team of people on hand who can help practically, who can listen or make phone calls, and people who are willing to pray for you who are struggling. So please do let us know if you would like that. You can check out the email link below. Speaking of practical help, most of you know that as a church we have a specific fund which we call the Care Fund, and it's set up for those who are in a time of crisis, who need practical help. And as you can imagine, we're drawing on that fund quite a bit as we're trying to help those who are vulnerable, who are needing extra help and care, who are isolated. If you feel able to and want to support financially, then please do find the link below. Sarah Jordan has set it up on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, you can contact me and we'll find a way of getting your donation to where it needs to go. Don't feel under any pressure to give, but if you wanted to give, a number of people have asked if they can make contributions and help financially because they are themselves in lockdown and unable to leave the homes to help in practical ways. But there's others of us who are able to go and deliver food or sort out prescriptions or to drive people for appointments. So please do let us know. Also, if you haven't responded saying that you would like practical help, please do. Also, if you would value regular phone calls, please let us know that too, as well as if you have prayer requests, please do let us know. The information is below in the description, as I've said. I wanted to make another video, and it won't all be me. There will be other videos from different members of our team, you as volunteers or church members. If you've got something you want to share, please do let us know and we'll find ways of doing that. But I wanted to share this video today because I wanted to talk a bit about being present. You know, I've called these last 4 videos being in the midst, and today's is in the midst or being present. And I want to start with share with you an announcement that we've made as oversight team, the leaders of the church. We've made. I want to make an announcement now about my sabbatical. And a number of you know that I was planning to take a sabbatical May to July this year. A sabbatical is when you aren't involved in the normal everyday pattern of your life, or in my case being the church minister, that I would step back from that time so I could go and do some research, but also doing research in particular for us about how we adapt as a church to the church's fit for the future, as well as I was going to spend some time in Israel walking where Jesus walked, as well as carrying out my own spiritual health check. And May isn't far away, is it? Well, last Sunday night I called an emergency oversight team meeting, which is our trustees, where I proposed that my sabbatical was cancelled. When I say cancelled, I mean postponed to May 2021. The team discussed it and reluctantly agreed, that this was the best course of action during this unprecedented time. So I want to assure you, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be present during this season, during this time of isolation, of lockdown, however you want to describe it. I am going to be here to help us all navigate this season that we're in, to help us all explore what this means for us in our walk with Jesus to transform lives. to help us all explore how we might grow even in our isolation. So now is not the right time for me to vanish for 3 months, is it? Now is the time for me to be present in the midst. So I wanted to share that with you to start with. I now want to move to share a few thoughts about how we each can be present in the midst of all that's going on, how we can get the most out of this season, how we can grow in this season. And I recently read a great reflection from a church leader called Billy Kennedy. He's involved in the Pioneer Network, about how this season perhaps is like an enforced Sabbath. If you want to read the whole article, I've put the link in the below description. Billy Kennedy suggests that instead of working harder and harder and harder, which will ultimately burn us all out, we perhaps should view this lockdown as an opportunity to be present. An opportunity to be present like we would if we were to take a day's rest, or a Sabbath, as the ancient world call it. But taking a day's rest isn't just what a Sabbath means. It isn't just about the day that we go to church. It isn't just about the day that we don't do fun things. Certainly that's the way a number of us grew up. We didn't get to do all the fun things that we used to like doing on a Sabbath, on a day, on the Sunday. God didn't intend it like that. God was actually instructing the ancient Christians to take that rest, and he's asking us to do that too, so that we would stop and know that God is in control. That we would stop and know that God is here in the midst of it all. That we would stop and savour all that is around us. All the people that are around us. All that we are experiencing. Stop and savour the nature around us. But also to allow a time of rest. Allow a time of reflection. Allow a time for our land to rest as well. The ancient practice was to have a 7-year rest, where land would go allowed to be to rest, to go fallow, so that it could heal and restore and repair itself. And certainly when we think about climate change, with all of us being encouraged to not travel, to not make unnecessary trips out, then we're already beginning to see the effect that this is having on our climate. Maybe this enforced Sabbath is good for our climate, for our world, not just for us being protected from a virus. But also a Sabbath is a time where we stop and we don't work, so that we can see that the world keeps spinning and life is going to be okay, and it isn't all dependent solely on our efforts. By pausing all activity, we get a chance to encounter a greater awareness of who we are, of who he is, and of those who are around us that he's asking us to connect with. So in this season of self-isolation, perhaps we need to change how we view it. Rather than viewing it negatively as a forced lockdown, maybe we could embrace it like it was some kind of precious gift. A gift of time. A gift of space. A gift of putting down the hurried lives that we lead. A gift of reconnecting with God, with ourselves, and with those who are around us. Okay, Matt, hang on a minute. That's easy for you to say, but that is really hard to do. It's really hard to do. And folks, yeah, it's a fair point. It is not easy to adjust to the self-isolation. For some of us, we are really missing people already. For others of us, we just are struggling with the technology. For others of us, we're task orientated and we want jobs to do. this self-isolation thing isn't easy, and we need a period of time to adjust to it. So why don't we draw from the experts of self-isolation? From monks. Yes, monks around the world have been used, and nuns and others in religious orders and practices have been used to this idea of self-isolation. And I recently read in this article by Billy Kennedy about the Cistercian monks of Ireland, who recently commented, as people who have been self-isolating for centuries, that they have 4 concrete tips to help us navigate each of our days during this time. And I want to share them with you. So if you don't get a chance to read the article, here they are for you. Number 1, write down or note down somewhere on an electronic device or a paper diary or just a bit of scrap of paper, a plan for your week, a schedule for your week. I don't mean a complicated thing like every hour. What I mean is, like, think about your morning, your afternoon, your evening. Perhaps plan what it looks like in each section of your day, so that you can feel that your days have a sense of purpose. That actually the days don't all merge into one. So often already I've been in meetings and people are like, I forgot what day it is. That happens. It feels like that kind of time between Christmas and New Year, doesn't it? Where all the days are rolled into one. It's important that we re-find a schedule, a plan of what our days look like. Because that will really help us. It really helps us feel like we're not just drifting into no purpose, that we still have a purpose. So that's number 1. Write yourself a weekly schedule. Go and do it. Number 2, a number of you are already doing this a lot more. Loads of you have joined in the prayer WhatsApp group. But I want to encourage you to find at least 2 times of structured prayer in your daily lives. 2 times? Matt, I haven't got time for 1 time. Well, look, I'm not talking about a long time of prayer here. Perhaps 5 minutes, perhaps 10 minutes. Maybe you make yourself a drink, and as the kettle's boiling, you just take that moment to just, as the bubble is rising up next to you, stand by the kettle so nothing else is blocking that sound, and just say, Lord, I want to connect with you. I'm here, you're here, and Lord, I want to commit this time to you. Maybe you do that. Maybe it's while you're having a shower or a bath. Maybe it's while you're on the loo. Maybe it's while you're cooking. Whatever it is, get some time with God and connect with him. If you can, and I know it's not hard, it's not easy for everybody, but if you can, perhaps find a quiet space where you can do that, where you can stop and connect with God. Try it. Try and put in 2 times a day. And maybe that helps you in terms of navigating the constant stream of information. You see the prayer requests from people and you say, right, I'm going to pray for them at 12 o'clock, or I'm going to pray for them at this time of day or night. But put in those structured times. That's number 2. Add in 2 times of structured prayer. Number 3, reading. Guys, we have books. You might have devices that you can read things on. Reading is really, really good for us. Yeah, watching telly is good. I like watching telly. Playing games is good. Board games, but also, gaming. They're good things. They're good ways of us escaping and having some leisure time. But folks, reading books is so good for us. It allows us to stop and to be at a different kind of pace. And yeah, read some spiritual books if you want in that. But I don't just mean spiritual books. Pick up a fiction book. Pick up a biography, whatever it is. Make yourself a cuppa. Pick up a book and sit down and read a book. It will be good for you. If you need some recommendations, there'll be plenty of people who could recommend some good books to you. Certainly if you want some spiritual books, we've got bookcases full of them down at church, and I perhaps could even lend you one from our free lending library. Please do get in touch if that would be something that you would value. So that's the 3rd thing. Read a book. Number 4, and this is where we get back to the title of this video. Live in the present moment. You know, folks, the what do I need to do next, task-minded, agenda-driven life that we have all been living for so long, this hurriedness, isn't good for us on the long run. To combat against the negative aspects of self-isolation, we need to embrace the present moment rather than trying to hurry to the next thing. Rather than trying to go, what's the next thing? It's about stopping and being present in what it is that you're doing right now. You're watching this video right now. Be present in this moment, watching this video, connecting with me as I'm connecting with you through this camera. Maybe it's you're going to do some online shopping. Be present in the moment. Think about what it is you can make with the ingredients that you're ordering. Maybe you're making a phone call or a video call on your phones or laptops. Maybe you're connecting with people that are old friends. Maybe you're connecting with people that are new friends. Maybe you're getting one of the calls that we've started to make to people who have asked for them. Savour that moment with that person, that you connect with them. Maybe you're making a video like me or hosting a Zoom call. Be present in the moment with those people as you connect with them. That you can savour those interactions and relationships. Maybe you're homeschooling or trying to homeschool, or like maybe you're doing the Keep Fit with Joe Wicks. Maybe you're doing watching other content, hearing Kieran and Charlotte doing their live lounge. Brilliant, keep it up, guys. It's wonderful. Just be present in the moment and enjoy what it is you're involved in, folks. Even if you're upset, even if you're struggling, be present in those moments too. Life is a gift, even when it is painful. Live in the present. Be present. Be in the midst. Savour as a gift this enforced Sabbath. Let's each choose to be present. Let's change our thinking from enforced lockdown to a Sabbath where we can rest, we can heal, we can make good choices for our well-being, we can reconnect with people, we can take stock of the choices that we make or the needs or the wants that we have, where we can stop and know that God is here with us, in the midst, right now. Folks, I'm going to finish it there. Be blessed, one and all. And I hope to see you on a Sunday as we gather on our Zoom call for our gathering. It's the last week of our prayer course where we look at session 8 from the prayer course. I'll post the link in the description below. 10:30 we gather. We're normally on at 10:15 beforehand, just to try and sort out some technical things for those who are struggling. So feel free to connect either via Zoom as we via video on your phones, smartphones, or on laptops and computers, or you can call in. You can dial in on the number that we will put below as well, and join us just on your landline. Feel free, guys, to connect in that way. It's been lovely to share this with you. Be present. I'm present. God is present. And together we are navigating this new season of what it means to be Jesus followers. Love to you all. Blessings. Bye.